Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome when you live.
Okay, so what went well for our students on this Edulastic test?
So most definitely for my class, I will say a celebration was question number 3, which dealt with rounding. So rounding was really good. So it seems like we hammered that skill.
They're just like some red and some green, and then there's the blue line. Can somebody explain that to me?
Yeah, the blue line is the average amount of time the student spent.
Right.
Okay.
So when you see, like for question 13, my blue line is very high, and the percentage is very low.
Okay.
So that shows me
They spent a
that they
long
didn't
time
know
on
how to do
question
it, but they
13.
also tried hard to do
Right.
it. So that really maybe that's probably a sign that I didn't teach it right, or didn't teach it well, or didn't teach it at all.
Here's something I thought was interesting, and I know we talked about this before, but question 15, where they were off a number. So for my students, we are examining story problems, multi-step problems. They were off either wrong, or they just did the first step and wrote that as the answer. So for morning work this week, I've been putting up multi-step problems for that, and I didn't know if that was question 15. I didn't know if a lot of your kids had trouble with question 15.
Yeah, it was the second
They
most
spent time
missed
on
one
it.
on mine.
Yes, spent time on it, but it's just, and I was interested to see how many kids got partially correct on question 12. Which was the multiples of 7. And I know we talked about this before, but clicking number 1. So
the confusion between multiples and factors is probably something we need to examine and talk more about. So another action step that for the story problem on number 15 is on the next test.
Yes.
So a week from tomorrow, the Edulastic, I have, I think, 2 money change making problems. I think I put 2 in there. Make sure you address it.
One for tomorrow.
Okay.
Do you have some task cards that have multi-step problems that I could borrow? Would you mind?
No, that's fine. I have them. I also been doing like a lot on my morning work, but I don't keep it just to money because I think that the kids have to have experience with all kinds of decimals, whether it's in a money form or not. So I've been trying, like I've used baseball statistics and stuff like that just to use, so you can get to the thousandths place for them to see that.
That's a great way to get some of those boys into.
Yeah. So you can always take
and the
statistics
standard goes
on
out to the thousands, and if you're using money, then you're not
to
getting.
get used to just seeing it one way. I want it to be critical thinking, so that no matter if they see a dollar sign or not, they have to know that whether to add or subtract. So we've also just in the journals, because some of the kids were confused too. Do I add? Do I subtract? They're not even picking up on some of those signal words. And so I have some task cards for that also that are fine. What's the operation?
Right.
And so they have been analyzing those in like their math groups so that they can start. And we did a chart like that.
Yeah, and they can use ACE to help them figure out what to do.
Number 12 for me.
Number 12.
Yeah, for
and that's
everybody.
The multiples.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what we just talked about.
They were
number
choosing
12.
factors instead of multiples.
Or they choose partially
I
correct. A lot of mine got partially correct because they chose number 1.
Yeah.
The number 1, and it's a common error that they think, okay, you start with 1.
If you want to actually have the data reflect their scores, you can go in and give them credit for it. So, for example, if you look up at the screen there, so you're here, right?
Yeah.
And so Felipe missed this question. It's red, question 10. I can click on that.
Yeah.
And then I can go in and see his answer. And if his answer is satisfactory to me, I can go over here and change that to 1.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, that's where you change it.
Yeah. And then you save it.
And then you save it.
That's what I need to do.
So,
I need to do that. I rewrote it down. Okay, our action steps are, we have precocious points for story problems with decimals, be it money or something else. We have to work on multiples versus factors, prime versus composite. We can use task cards, already said precocious points, modifying your morning journal, putting those problems in your morning journal, using signal words, how much change added to our charts.
Yeah.
Cut.
So happy together, so happy together.
Last week, at the end of last week, we should be at that multiplication quiz where we're doing single digit and multi-digit, right?
Right. And that's the Edulastic one that you created, correct? Vince?
Yeah.
Yes.
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 And then Friday's supposed to be reviews. So do we naturally go into division, or do we say?
I think we go to division.
Yep, I agree. After multiplication hitting hard, let's take it to division.
Because that's the next, so 5C1 is multi-digit, multiply multi-digit whole numbers fluently using standard algorithm approach, and then 5C2 is find
with
whole
you.
number quotients.
I'm about to.
Yeah.
So,
So
5C1.
I think we go right to 5C2.
Yep.
So we're on
Are
5C1,
you
right?
typing?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Are we on 5C1 right now?
We're
So we're
5C1 the rest of this week,
Okay.
correct?
With multiplication.
And then we're 5C2 next week.
So if next week we're working on division, then our quiz is going to definitely be
Division.
division.
And it's going to be paper and pencil because we are doing Edulastic this week,
Right.
right?
That's correct.
Okay, so our quiz will be division.
On Thursday.
Is
And then our precocious points, do we need to talk about that? Like, should we put some multiplication?
Multiplication.
I'm trying to think what my kids.
Rounding.
Rounding. I think you should throw in like a tricky greatest to least, least to greatest decimal.
yeah.
I think because I want to see if they've got it for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm probably taking notes on what are we going to put in precocious points. So what are we covering? Rounding again?
Multiplication.
Oh.
Rounding. Yep, rounding's in there. Okay.
I think up to
One division.
4 digits
By
in your dividend and 1-digit divisors for
Right.
the quiz.
Okay.
I think it should be up to 4-digit dividend, and I think it's okay to have with and without remainders.
Yes.
digit.
The kids, if you guys, we all taught box method last year. My kids know that
Yeah, I'd like
Inside
to
and
do
out.
that too.
box
One
method.
digit
I'll show you.
divisor.
No,
You know.
I think next week we could spend on division and then go to problem solving and that interpreting the remainder creds and following along.
So let's talk this through. Division, 1/8
Right?
on Monday.
1/8 because that's relating.
Right. So
1/8.
what's Tuesday and Wednesday?
Then I think on Tuesday, I don't know, that first lesson in chapter 2 is like place the first digit, but I feel like we could go to 2-2. I don't feel like we need to do 2-1 because I think that's something you talk about at the same time.
Okay, let me look. Placing
1/8 you said is our first lesson? Is that
Yeah,
right?
because it relates
Relating.
division and multiplication, and I
Okay.
think they need to see how they're related
Okay.
just to make it concrete.
And it's three.
Yeah, I think you can go ahead and go to
Yeah.
2-2.
Because they have
Spending a whole day
division.
on where to put the first number is a little bit much.
Yeah, that's what
And they know what to do. They know what to do.
2-2.
You do box division. Then what's Wednesday?
2-2, let's see what 2-2
I
looks
think
like.
Sorry, I
then,
missed Tuesday.
depending on how
Tuesday's 2-2.
Okay.
I think depending on how it goes, we could go up to the divide. I don't know if we need to take 2. Did you guys do partial quotients? Is that important? I mean,
Only one of my kids does partial products.
it's a critical standard.
It is.
Partial
Partial
quotient.
quotients is a critical, and I'm wondering if it should be.
That's 2-4.
Yeah, so I don't know if we should go 2-2 and then 2-3 is division with 2-digit divisors. I don't know what you think.
I like partial quotients. I'm fine.
Well, we're only doing 1-digit divisors next week.
Right.
So let's not do
so
2,
let's not
3.
do that. So let's do. Can we do the
I
box
think they definitely
thing?
need to hammer 1-digit divisors before we
So you wanna
and
spend
know
2
who can do
days?
that before who. Well,
Yeah.
like I want my quiz only to cover that because I want to know who can do that before I can get on
So
to
do you
2.
want to spend 2 days on division with?
We could spend one day on the traditional algorithm and one day on the box algorithm. I mean, I think we need 2 days on single digit.
Critical standard.
So maybe we should do that on Wednesday, how to check division.
Yeah, like the
So-
inverse operation.
So basically have one of your pages for a teaching instead of, and then give away Wednesday.
Okay.
Here.
2-2 is Tuesday, and then Wednesday, here I'm putting it in
Go
there.
ahead, thank you.
So the vocabulary is I do that, divisor, dividend.
But I need to know box method. I'm not sure that I know what box method is.
So when we do the division,
I'm
we need to
so-
show
I probably
regular
know it,
and
but I
box.
just can't remember.
I say it's up to you. We didn't teach traditional because I'm telling you, box method was a lot easier than traditional. The kids didn't have to have that long line.
Okay.
Box method was so much easier.
Can I
Here.
interject for just a minute and ask a question over here?
Yeah.
I have several kids that can already do this stuff. It's easy for them. Do we have some kind of project or something we can give them because they're totally
I'll find
bored with
something.
this? I can look for stuff. I just
don't
didn't know if
know.
anybody had anything offhand.
So here's your
Jeff, could that be something to
dividend.
help us with?
Here's
That's what
your
like getting enrichment,
divisor.
because you know your
So you
your kids
do-
from last year.
Yeah,
Just
like
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Can you,
Well, I found a YouTube video, you guys.
And that's what
Share
I
it
did,
with
Carmen.
me.
With my group, instead of
And I'll
two
add
digit
it
by
to the
two
plan.
digit, we did decimals.
just
in my
email it
high
to me
group.
and then I'll. Or
So that's how
actually,
I bump it
it's
up.
so much
So next
easier.
week I'm gonna do division.
You
with
link
them.
it right
Division
in.
divided by
decimals.
yeah. And they loved it because I told them, I said it's
I
a
don't
little
know.
different.
On Wednesday we're gonna teach the box method, right? Or
Yes.
you're not okay, right?
No.
Or you're gonna teach it on Tuesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday is teaching them how to check the division problem
Right.
using inverse
And-
operation.
So
Oh,
yeah,
Okay.
I'm adding to that. Alana.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm not. So you are not going to necessarily divide it to teaching traditional and just all the same day. Okay, thank you. Lana's changing it now. Great.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
What if Alana taught it to other groups? Would you be open to that?
I don't have a problem teaching it. I am open to it, but I
Just
don't.
saying. I'm not suggesting you guys aren't capable of teaching it. I'm just saying
Teaching what? The box.
Box method.
it might be a unique way for them to hear it a different way.
Oh, like how we did Power Hour.
You know what I mean?
But I can even do it in the morning, like maybe one morning, because it's only gonna take me like 5 minutes. I'll maybe do like 1 or 2 problems and just move. My kids know how to just, you see what I'm saying? Like for morning work, instead of you doing a journal one day, I teach like Vince's class this Friday maybe, and then Carmen's on Monday, and then Alyssa's on Tuesday in the morning. I don't mind doing that.
I don't want to necessarily be. If Alana's teaching my room, I want to see Alana teach it as
Yes.
well, because I want to see that.
I
Not
agree with
just-
that.
Not just. I want to see her like. Her flow. I want to see her magic. You know, like
Okay, so let's put that
you
to.
know, like it's more than just
And I do.
her teaching me. I want to see her teaching. You know, like I want to see her her
Yeah.
style, her technique,
Yeah.
Well,
because
by
I
all-
can learn from that too.
I will cover Alana's classroom anytime that I can. That you guys want to
do that. Yeah.
let her travel around for 20
I'm
minutes.
okay with all of us traveling as well, but I want to do that, and I want to do observe. I want to.
Are you okay? Are you comfortable with that?
I'm comfortable, but here's the thing. I want to see them as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't want to make it